America, Amerika was a story about some people in the Midwest. Very big Midwest guy here. Again, it was my idea of after a Russian takeover of the United States, 10 years after Russians had taken over the United States. The intention of the film was for Americans to examine how they would feel, how they would react when their personal freedoms were taken away from them. How important were those freedoms to you as an individual? Would you be a collaborator? Would you fight against it? How would you deal with that? That was what the film was about. I had thought about it in that kitchen, did a lot of work up in that kitchen up there, and came up with the idea. And initially, I thought of it as being, okay, I want to do something with the Russians. The Russians come into the United States, they take over, and then we examine how the freedom thing works. Freedom works for the viewer. And I said, but I don't want to do the Russians landing and the red button and the fight and all that stuff, because that's all a prelude to the stuff that's interesting. And Marianne turned to me and said, why don't you do it 10 years after they're already here? And I went, yes, that's good, because I don't have to deal with it. That Donald Rye, we did that with Donald Rye. He produced, wrote, and directed it. One of those great ironies was I had thought of it on a Thursday night. David Wolper had called me late Thursday afternoon. I've done a lot of miniseries with David, and he said, I got to see you Friday morning. Could you slip me in? I said, yeah, sure. What time? It's only 8:30. I'll be no. David comes in. He says, I got this idea, and I just thought of it, and I really want to do it with you. And what is it? And he said, it's a story about America 10 years after Russians had taken over. And I said, David, you're not going to believe this, but I just thought of this last night. I'm going to do it in-house. I'm sorry. I know you're not going to believe me, but we're friends. You've got to trust me. I've been with you forever. I'm going to do it. I just already put it in development about 15 minutes ago. And he was great. And he turned and said, that happens. Turned, walked out the door. Anyway, so we started. I thought I was going to do it at 4 to 6 hours, and it turned out we were going to do it at 12. It was equally controversial because now everything flip-flopped. The left was against it totally. They were horrified and vitriolic and screaming and yelling. I was getting 15,000 letters a day here, and the FBI was going through it, and because they had dogs smelling it for gunpowder. I mean, it was a living nightmare. The right thought it was the greatest thing that ever happened, and suddenly same guy was a hero to the right, and now a total villain to the left. Same guy, but I get a postcard with a picture of a guy in the front, and he's got his thing like this, and on the back of it says, "It's Stoddard. You're about nothing but money, and I know where your children live." So it got scary, and Amerika was very, 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 very controversial. Again, we lost, a week before we were on the air, we lost $98 million in advertising because of a controversy. They walked. The advertiser
just pulling out.
Walked, pulled, gone, out of there. We're gone. So it was a brutal, brutal experience, and very tough. America's problem was it opened extremely well. It had a 38, 39 share opening night, and but there was slippage from a half hour, so you already knew you were in trouble, and it went down during the week, and I know why it did. I know exactly why it did, and the reason Amerika went down was because it wasn't very good. It wasn't good enough. It was a great idea, and Donald did not have. What happened was that I initially started with Donald, but I got promoted to the head of the entertainment division, and I couldn't be hands-on with the project the way I really should have been. So the script never got to be as good as it was. We had to hurry it for production. There was all sorts of nightmares about it. I mean, I will never forget looking at the rough cut on Friday night for the episode that was going on Sunday, airing Sunday night, and getting a call at 11 o'clock at night saying, we're not going to make air for Sunday. We can't do it. I said, yes, you are. I don't care if you go up with slides. You were going up on Sunday night. So it was a little scary. But yeah, Amerika had an unbelievable controversy involved with it.